fault lines in IndiGo Airlines boardroom. Sources tell ET Now the differences have cropped up between the founders Rahul Bhatia and Rakesh Gangwar. ET Now learns that the feud is over. Gangwar actually taking greater executive control in the airline. Both the sides have hired law firms to iron out differences. Let's go across to Nayantara Rai for more details. Nayantara?
This is a mega ET Now exclusive. The two gentlemen that came together to launch India's biggest airline, its most profitable airline with over a 40% market share, seem to have fallen out. They seem to have differences that they need to figure out through. In fact, so much so that they've gone to law firms. So the two gentlemen, the two promoter groups, which have pretty much an equal amount of equity in IndiGo Airlines, running into turbulence. So you have Rahul Bhatia as well as Rakesh Gangwar, the two promoters, the two promoter groups that launched IndiGo Airlines, falling out with one camp, that's the Rahul Bhatia camp, believing and being of the view that maybe the other promoter group is looking to wrest control, is taking more of an executive control at IndiGo Airlines. The reason for that perhaps is also the slew of senior management appointees that have taken place in the recent past. Look no further than the new CEO, Ronojoy Banerjee, who has worked in the past with Rakesh Gangwar in the United States. Now, Rakesh Gangwar continues to reside in the United States. He's an old aviation veteran. He's the one who had brought his aviation expertise to IndiGo. He ran United Airlines, he ran American Airlines, and it was around that time when he had met with Banerjee, the current CEO, who was incidentally heading United during the 9/11 crisis. But this is bad news that is coming in from an aviation perspective, which is going through such a rough weather, such a large turbulence. You have the two promoter groups of India's most successful airline falling out. I don't want to panic the markets over here. Yes, the promoters have differences that they're trying to iron out. They've hired two law firms. So I have been told that Rahul Bhatia has engaged JSA, whereas Rakesh Gangwar has hired Khaitan and Company.
Thank you, Nayantara, for getting us those exclusive details. Let's also listen in to the reactions of Sandeep Parekh as well as Mohit Saraf on the differences between the IndiGo promoters.
You know, many of these kind of partnerships which have been born at times where, you know, the airline was pretty much nothing, are based on mutual understandings and not based on agreements, especially when two persons are friends. So those obviously almost always cause friction, which is not easily resolvable, because when you have a regular shareholders agreement, I think people kind of go through mediation or through arbitration in a kind of a regular process. But when you have kind of unwritten rules which have been put in, and you have such large stakes, you told me it's 75% together, and so together kind of they can pretty much control everything in the company. So I think it's one of those difficult. It's like a divorce proceeding, very, very painful, very difficult. Nothing is written down, and it kind of ends up in all kinds of mudslinging. So it could be painful if they've not documented through a shareholder agreement what the rights and duties are. But I completely agree with Mohit's perspective on what he said.
Yeah, it does happen. It happens regularly in companies. You are two partners, maybe equal stakes, but some partner is more active in business, other partner may be active in other things, government relationships or things like that. So there is a possibility that one partner may feel left out or may feel little disturbed. That sometimes does escalate into big issues. But generally, I would say these issues should be resolved quite easily, because I think what you rightly said is that this company is one of the very, I would say, absolutely a company which has grown from almost nothing to one of the largest airline in India, and therefore the stakes are high for both promoters. And therefore, I would typically expect that in the shareholder agreement they would have typical rights where they can buy each other, exit possibility, or there could also be a provision about deadlock resolution. Some of these things should be there. I don't know what level of dispute there is or what level of deadlock there is, but these type of things can happen, I think, again. But typically shareholder agreements does have these rights and exit rights or a process to resolve disputes. And we need to see, and particularly since we are not acting either for the two promoters or for the company, so we have really no access and understanding what really is the dispute, if there is any, and how they can resolve it.